Oh, no, no, no. Fuck you. Hey everyone, how's it going? The roads here suck here, and this video is going to be about an issue that I've had with the remote key entry, RKE remote. And before I begin this video, I just wanted to mention that this basically boils down into three types of problems. So let's say the remote completely stops working, right? Problem one could be the battery is low. In that case, you just replace the battery. Problem two could be the little holder for the battery has come undone from the circuit, in which case you can fix that and that should be all good. And problem three is, did I say two or three? I don't remember, but the third problem that could be the issue is the remote unpaired itself. Maybe you had the battery out of it for too long. So those are three possibilities. It could be any one or a combination of all of them that happened, and for me it was a combination of all of them. And on top of that, I was locked out of the car. So that's what this video is about. It's not only going to be about replacing the battery, but it's also going to be about fixing the battery holder, and it's also going to be about, I want to say pairing the remote, but I don't have video of that, so I'll just talk about it. So without further ado, let's begin. Hello everyone, the roads here suck. How's it going today? There's a slight problem today. It would appear that the remote key entry, this, ran out of battery and I can't get into the car. And for some reason I tried turning the key in the lock in the door, and maybe it's only the second key, which is currently in Brooklyn, opens that. I don't know. So I'm gonna try and open this up, see what battery this is, and replace it. You know, it doesn't help that the screw is stripped either. Previous owner was an interesting character. Easy, don't strip now. It's a long ass screw. Anyways, there's a little indentation here. I'm gonna put my fingernail in there and try and pry this off very gently. God damn. Get out of there. That did the trick. It's interesting. Why is this like this? The only thing it seems I can do here is try and take this off. Previous owner was an interesting person. Put that to the side. But wait, there's more. There we go. At least it's easy to take off. Oh, okay, I see why that is the way it is. I can fix that though. Yeah, see what happened is the previous owner probably tried taking the battery out and he broke this entire thing off. So here's a hole, here's like the base. I don't know if the camera's angled right, but here's the base, here's two holes. This is where the battery rests. This is supposed to go in these holes. Not too much, just a little bit will do. that will do. Let's flip it over to the other side now. Ah, okay, I see. Okay, so I fixed this component. Just out of curiosity, let me see if I can unlock the car. That would save me from having to walk to the store for the battery. Okay, that didn't work. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to the store and I'm going to replace this battery. Yank that out of there. And go to the store. I'll be back in just a minute. Alright, so I just got back from Rite Aid. I got the Duracell 2032. It was about $6. It was like $5.80 something, really, but $6. Okay, let's bust this open. There we go. Finally, Japan reminds you not to swallow babies or whatever. Peel that sucker off. Pop this in. Alright. So it just slides in. Boom. Like so. Make sure that's seated nicely. Let me get this out of the way. This goes down on here like this. Make sure everything's seated the way it should be. Pop that sucker in there. Like so. Clips in. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Drop the screw in here. Grab the screwdriver. Screw it in. Okay, so it's been a rough couple of hours, but I have, everything was the same. I slid the new battery in, I closed up the remote. For some reason, manually entering the car did not work, and the remote still would not work. So I reckoned that the remote must have gotten unpaired somehow, but I had no way of getting into the car. So if you're going to change the remote to your battery, I strongly suggest, if you have the option, to leave your car unlocked. If you find yourself locked out of the Chrysler 300, what I've done was, I've had a friend come over with a wire coat hanger, okay, and I've bent it out of shape just so that I have a straight part like this and a little L-shaped hook over here. So it's straight and then just a small little straight segment of hook. It's about 1.5 inches long, okay? And at the top here, it's bent. At the top here, it's bent again, but that's just so I could grab it and turn it, okay? So what I've done was, I went to the back door, and there you have this little, like, lock plunger mechanism thing. About an inch, so if I'm looking at the side of the car, where the front is to the right hand side, and the trunk is to the left hand side, I walk up to the back window, and about an inch to the left of the plunger, I slid this thing in between the window and the door. I pushed it down about that deep, I guess. So it's inside the door now. And then what I did was I took this little grab handle of mine and I turned it this way. So now the hook is turned this way. And what I've done was I pulled it up, and there's a little rod in there that attaches to the lock mechanism, and it pulled this rod up, it popped the lock. Back door, I got the back door open. The alarm sounded, because that's what happens when you break into a car. And quickly took the key, put it in the ignition, start the engine, the alarm shuts off, turn the key off, and I forget how I repaired this remote exactly, but it went something along the lines of hold down both buttons and turn the key to the on position, so it goes ACC on, and hold it. And I think that's what did it. It's some sort of combination of turning the key, I think it was either you turn it ACC to on 7 times, or it was you press and hold the buttons while you flip it from ACC to on. And ever since then, the car paired, the remote works fine, everything is great now. So my issue was the battery worn out. I opened this up and I found that the previous owner had messed with this a little bit, so I fixed it, but the remote unpaired itself, so I had to repair it, that is, pair it to the car again. But to do that, I had to put it in the ignition, and I was locked out of the car and I couldn't get in, so I had to break into my own car, and it was a whole complicated process, but there you go. That's everything. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.